Welcome once again to Drama Friday. Get your Friday ready because all that shit that we put up with during the week is done with. Get the fuck out of here. It's gone. And now we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a little bit of fun because we're going to laugh at silly things, right? We're going to have a little bit of a giggle at the silly things that go on in the world of Warcraft. Or maybe not. What have I got on the menu for you today? What can Preacher entice you with? Well, I have a rather cool World of Warcraft story with many fails. Many fails abound. But you ask for some ERP. You do ask me for some ERP on occasion, don't you? You go, Preacher, does thou have any ERP that I may whet my whistle with? Do you have any? And I say to you, sirs, I do. But this time, we're not in the World of Warcraft. What is the only place better than World of Warcraft to have some ERP? What is the only place better than our wonderful realm of Azeroth to have some ERP? And I say to you, I answer that question. I answer that question with vigour, and I answer it with luster. And I say to you, my friends, Star Trek Online. Is there anything better than the idea of space trekky, nerdy ERP? Is there? I can't think of a game. What have we got here? Second Life? Star Wars? No. It's when we take it to Spock's country. When we take it to Spock country, that's when we know shit's got real. When McCoy is whipping out his tricorder, that's when shit got fucking real, right? That's when it happened. It happens today. It happens today in our Star Trek Online RP guild. Oh shit. Perhaps Lord of the Rings. Hobbit ERP, that could get serious, couldn't it? Couple of announcements. One, there's a web show tomorrow with a transmog competition. Yes, it happens tomorrow. That's right. Less than 24 hours. It happens tomorrow. Transmog competition. Overseen by the transmog overlord himself, Mr. Ghost. We will be giving away something. I don't know. Twitch rules. I don't know. Some shit will be happening to you, the winner. Right? I can't promise anything. It could just be a little thank you and a nod, or it could be something better. I don't know. We'll be giving something away. But web show tomorrow. And also we'll be venting on there as we usually do. More personal feelings about the stuff. I try and keep it subjective when we're on the YouTube and we're doing the official stuff. But there's been a lot of things pissing me off this week. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And tomorrow we'll be talking about all that kinds of stuff. In terms of streaming, you'll be happy to know I'll be streaming probably about 3 or 4 days next week. Why? Because Blizzard has seen fit to release 4 zones in like 4 days on the beta. 4 brand new zones. I have yet to see, because I've been doing content for you guys. I've spent all my days locked in this room doing dungeon stuff for you guys. I have yet to see the Gorgrond. I have yet to see Nagrand. And I certainly haven't seen Spires of Arok and that other fucking place that exists now. So we're going to do some streaming next week. We're going to be chilling, taking it easy. It won't be mixed streaming with the other guys. We'll just be talking to you guys. So anybody who's up and about, especially Team Australia, Team Down Under, we'll be doing that then, which is going to start in the mornings. All right, I'll tweet about it. Follow me on the tweet machine, even if you don't really use it, and I'll tell you when it's coming on. Or follow, and you get a notification. It tells you, it's like, hey, you know he's streaming. That's pretty good. Also, today, it's 32 degrees in the UK. It's 32 goddamn degrees. I have a big PC next to me, and I have lights on to expose my lovely head for you guys, right? It's going to get hot. It's going to get sweaty. Ball koozies at the ready. Ball koozies at the ready. All right? Let's kick off with our WoW story. There are going to be names in this story. I'll pre-warn you now. Oh, I also went to the dentist today and had the cleaning, so I have to drink through a straw. I can only use one side of my mouth at the moment because the hygienist was mean. She was mean and made me do something. There are names, but I'll do them now. Fuck it, right? Because people are going to start spamming. Let's fucking do it. I just don't give a shit anymore. Oh! Right, I need thrice people. Thrice people to spam away and have fun. No need to block the chat. Let people have a wonderful time. That's what I say. I need a main tank druid. Gotta be a noob, right? Too soon? Too soon? Did I just see my own brother get timed out? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. You're supposed to be representing my family, man. We need someone who doesn't mind playing a 2-button class and gets upset when I say that's newbie. An overweight mid-20s raid leader. Nice! Get moist at the idea of that. And we also need a calm and fair raid leader and a rogue. Fuck off. A calm and fair raid leading rogue. My fucking ass. Absolute lies. I'm a druid titan, bristling my fur. Okay, next one to say bristling my fur will get to be the druid. Cortana, you can come in. Let's get that Halo shit repping. I think it's Halo. I don't know. I don't play Xbox. I'm sorry. Really sorry. Ooh, Theoris, you will do. Theoris. And fat as hell, pick me. I like it. Dude, I am fat as fuck. Give it me, give it me, give it me. No one said bristling my... I saw it. Oh, there we go. It was Lordy. There he is. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. It was Lordy. Something, something. Lord of Light. The Lord of Light. Oh, dearie me. The Lord of Light. The Lord of Light himself. Giving birth to those shadowy creatures and stealing all that king's blood. Oh, baby. But you did apparently get to have sweet loving with a rather fetching older redhead. Cougar, one might say. Okay. So our characters will come in later in the story. What was the title? From being a noob to becoming a GM. Now, I've got to be honest, there's a lot of chapters in the story, but not all of them contain drama, so we'll be skipping a couple of these things. We're in fact going to kick off around about Wrath of the Lich King. And the race to level 80. That's where we're going to start. Now, what class did you play, sir? I don't think I can see, but people like to know what class you are. Me being a warrior. You're a warrior. That will do nicely. So we have a warrior during Wrath of the Lich King, pressing those shield slams and all that good swag. That's who we're going to be today. Okay. So, the Wrath of the Lich King is here. The race to level 80 has begun. I got a little distracted by real life stuff, though, and only hit 80 when most of the guilds had cleared Nax already. Am I the only one who reads that and thinks like day 2? It's like day 3 max, right? I only got 80 after the guilds had cleared Nax. So you mean like Wednesday and it came out on Monday? Is that what that means? My guild had picked me up in one of the few TBC pug runs and wanted to start raiding soon. Oh, okay, so you joined a guild that was doing TBC pug runs. Finally, it was announced that we would start the next Wednesday. And I was very excited. I had a week to prepare, farm some heroic dungeon gear, watch videos of the boss mechanics to get my pots and flasks ready. Oh, for Nax? Really? Getting everything ready for Nax? How do we cope with this patchwork fight? It's very difficult. It's very difficult. But did I do any of that? Fuck no. No, I did not. I did not do any preparation at all. I remember how everything was so easy in the Burning Crusade, and that I cleared many raids in one night. It didn't occur to me that that was only due to the fact that TBC had had its nerf patch released. And everybody else was carrying my noob ass. So I was kind of expecting the same to happen in Nax. And it did! Luckily, Naxxramas was a big pile of wank. The other raiders weren't exceptionally good or prepared, but at least had some ideas. I know, Nax 10 must have been one of the easiest things to do in WoW history. Was it though? I'm trying to think of a raid that was easier than Nax 10. Honestly, I don't think there was one that came out at launch. At launch, right? In Relevant Gear, when it came out there and then. Was there anything easier in history than Nax 10? Wrath of the Lich King Nax 10. I would say Halion. He died like instantly, but no, Nax was easier than Halion. Can you guys think of anything that was easier than Nax 10 ever? I think that's probably Nax 25. Yeah, Nax 25 was even easier. Martial Vaults? No. Lots of people got stuck on the Stone Guard. That was when your tanks really got fucked over. Those tanks that you picked up who could tank like standing still and tank stuff. Vault of Archivon? That's a PvP boss though, right? Don't really count. Don't really count. Still, it took us about 2 hours to clear the Arachnid Quarter. And it was then that I experienced my first WoW drama. Our Night Elf Hunter was 14 years old and was called to bed by his mum. He didn't use push to talk, so the entire conversation was clearly heard over Ventrilo. Our guild master and raid leader made the decision to replace him and continue with another quarter the same night. We've all had these issues, right? The hunter then started an argument to how it was so unfair that he couldn't continue and that he would miss out on loot. Now, right? We had that story. a little while ago, didn't we? About all the people who called me an elitist because of things like this. These are the people who are calling me elitist. You're 14. Your mum says you've got to go to bed. Stop playing that scary dungeon. You'll have nightmares about spiders. You're not seeing the new Hearthstone expansion? Scary. Scary shit going on. Elitists. I'll miss out on loot. He said, the hunter, he said that they should all stop to raid and continue tomorrow night when he was back. I demand you all stop raiding. I have to go to bed. I demand you all stop raiding. I demand it. It's the only fair way. I don't have to tell you what we thought of all this, and we quickly made clear that this decision wasn't going to happen. What happened then was him actually crying to his mother. We could hear it in the background. To please let him play a little longer. Please. They're going to get loot from next runners. It didn't help though. His mum was very stern. His mum stood proud. His mum stood very, very proud. Right? His mum stood proud. He came back saying how he had to go and we are all a huge bunch of assholes and ruining the whole game for him. Our GM was actually, and surprisingly, very upset by this. Strong GM. Strong guild. Strong GM. We did continue that night, but the next night, the GM proclaimed that he was growing tired of the game. Wrath of the Lich King's been out for like a week. And that the drama that came with it, and that he would disband the guild. The 14-year-old kid broke up the guild. That is a solid guild you were a part of. And I wish that I could be a part of it. I wish that I could be a part of that guild that fell apart on the whims of a 14-year-old boy crying to his mother. It's good stuff. Good stuff, man. You were going places. I quickly found a new guild, though. A better guild, which was raiding 25-man Nax. Oh my god, they're fucking serious, right? For real, 25-man? That's pretty fucking intense, dude. I was clearing it nearly every week. We were clearing 25-man Nax nearly every week. We're pretty fucking good, you know. 25-man Nax, it might take us 7 days, but we nearly clear that every week. Yeah, alright? Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I'm clearing 25-man Nax pretty much every week. Not all the time, though. Sometimes that pesky Loatheb, rats, he's a tough one. We even got pretty close to SAR 3 Drakes one time. Once again, this was not due to me being a good raider. Nearly. Nearly? Nearly every week. I was the guy in every raid that died on the dancing boss instantly. Did you just disrespect Hygen the Unclean? Did you just disrespect the dancing boss? Hygen. Hygen. You remember Hygen's name. Look, don't fuck with me on this shit, right? Hygen is genius. What a brilliant idea for a boss. So elegantly simple. So difficult for so many. Come on. Come on now. And as a tank, I had a blast there watching everybody die around me. So good fun. I was the guy who died every week on Hygen that couldn't pass the blobs after patchwork. Them blobs. How many of you? Come on. Come on. How many of you died to those blobs after patchwork? And how? How can you not play Frogger? You call yourself Raiders of 25-man nearly Nax every week. Yeah? And you can't play Frogger. Frogger too much. Frogger OP. Frogger needs a nerf. Frogger's too hardcore, right? Frogger's casual scrub. Look, I failed. I failed. I failed. Oh, all these guys. Yes, I did. I totally did. I failed the blobs. I also spent most of the Thaddeus fight trying to make the jump from the platform to the boss. The Immortal achievement. Who's with me? I bet not many of you. I bet not many of you. Right? Bet not many of you are there when you're doing the Immortal and you reach Thaddeus. Who's easy. He's the easy one, right? He's none of that, I'm gonna forget a name. Who needs the fucking mind controlling Shadow Priest to pull the finger out the ass? And you pull! And you're doing the Immortal, man! You're fucking nearly there! You're doing it! You're doing the Immortal and some fucking dickface can't make the jump. Some fucking dickface, dish face motherfucker cannot make that jump. And you watch There's 24 of you land on that platform, and then the one guy... Undying. I wanted it so bad. I got it. Yeah! Ulduar was announced, and we felt ready. Did you feel ready? Well, you are almost clearing max every week, so you should be ready. You should be pretty much good to go. I think you're solid. I was once again not going to prepare. I shall learn nothing of the Ulduar. Hey, it worked fine twice, learning the bosses as I went, or if not, the raid tolerating my mistakes and still taking me with them every week. Good guild. Ulduar came, and we went into it on the night it launched. Pretty hardcore. Flame Leviathan was felled. Anybody ever wipe on Flame Leviathan? Ever? What's it like? I'm not talking about what's it called? Nuke from Orbit. That was pretty tough if you didn't know what you were doing. If you had bad pyro guys. It was amazing. Isn't it amazing? Okay. Alright, guys who raided Ulduar hard mode. Isn't it amazing when no roles are taken into account, right? Flame Leviathan doesn't involve roles. Isn't it amazing how certain players got picked to be the pyro guys very quickly, right? When you can just say, you do it. Because you know what you're doing. You know how to do it, right? You know how to do it. It was amazing how random the people put in those fucking tanks was. I'll get the Demolisher. No, you won't. No, you won't. Obituary, that one. Yeah, cool, man. We did a couple of tries on Razorscale, but we weren't able to get anywhere on him. Razorscale. I do mock. Them dwarves, though. Shooting them chains. I'm joking. Razorscale was a step up from Flame Leviathan, let's say that. We then moved on to Ignis, and the same happened there. Oh, if you're not killing Razorscale, you're not doing Ignis. No way. Usually it's XT where people fall down. It's kind of funny. Our raid leader got really frustrated and was shouting at people on vent. He even called out people individually. Not me, though. I don't know why to this day, if I wasn't actually failing, or if he just didn't expect anything else from me. That's self-confidence, though. He didn't call me out. It's probably because I wasn't failing by accident or that I'm so bad he expected it. So that's the self-confidence going into this. I'm not sure if there was something going on in the background of the guild, but this was the last time we all raided together. You got wiped out by Razorscale? You were in one guild that got wiped out by a 14-year-old. You were then in another guild that got wiped out by Razorscale. Razorscale normal. Fair dues, man. But yeah, you nearly cleared Nax every week, though, so you have that going for you. After that night, some people just transferred realms, changed guilds, or stopped playing altogether. Oh, that's a little sad. Oh, don't be sad. I belong to the latter kind. I focused on school and girls for the next 2 years. I will give girls 2 years, and then I'm calling it a day. I'm done. In retrospective, I kind of regret it. In brackets, you just say not the girls, obviously. You regret going to school? Wait a minute, what do you mean you regret it? I kind of regret it. You focused on school and girls. The only bit you don't regret is girls. You regret getting educated. I could have been raiding, man. I could have been raiding. Imagine that. I could have been raiding. It could have happened. But no, instead I went and got educated. And that was a fail. Because Ulduar and ICC seem like the coolest raids to me nowadays. And I would have loved to have progressed through them at the time. Yeah. Push girls, just 2 years. I gave girls 5 months. Regret because he got no girls. He likes the girls, not so much the education though. Have you seen ICC? Look, math, yeah, I get it. Kind of important, I guess. But have you seen ICC? Shadowmon. I was a warrior. Yeah, I was a warrior. And there was... you don't mention Trial of the Crusader in there, I see. Maybe that's when you could have done your summer school, yeah? During TOC? I get what you were doing. I get it for you. Then Kata came. I came back when Kata launched, rolled a mage, capped quickly and wanted to get back into raiding. I wasn't very well informed and completely hit a wall when I had to do heroic dungeons to get the gear in order to enlist for raids. Heroic dungeons were hard when you weren't prepared to watch YouTube guides about boss mechanics. Believe me. Okay. I talked to a couple of raid groups, but no one wanted a shitty equipped mage in their ranks. So I quit the game pretty much immediately. Okay, here come our cast. Them Kata heroics though, quitting the game. You're that guy. You're that guy. You're that guy who went into the Kata Heroics with the difficulty everybody was asking for and then quit the game because it was too hard. And then just quit the game. That's Stone Cold though, right? Shit. You seen this place? Fuck me. It's got fucking spinny ass worms going on. Ads everywhere. Fucking bullshit, dude. Ozrook, break yourself upon my body. I'm fucking out of it. I'm not breaking myself. Broke my game. Uninstalled. Get out of it. I activated a 10-day trial when Mop hit. And it was... And was at first disgusted with all the new additions they had made to the game. I didn't get a subscription and didn't play for most of the expansion. Them pandas, though. Only recently I started playing it when I found out that a couple of my friends, including theorists, were raiding Flex and non-heroic together. Raiding Flex, are we theorists? Kind of a big boy. Kind of a big boy. I reactivated my account, transferred my mage, level caps, and started to gear up on the Timeless Isle and through LFR. Yeah. I soon hit 525. And my friends agreed to take me into their guild Flex group. You are now qualified, friend, for Flexi raiding. Okay? This is no normal mode anymore. Now we're doing it. I did actually prepare this time. I watched Fat Boss guides for all the Siege of Orgrimmar bosses and got a grip of it quickly. There was also another mage in the guild who had already had some heroic experience and who helped me with my rotation. A lot of AskMrRobot.com and Nox It later, I found I wasn't such a bad player anymore. After downing 10 bosses on Flex the previous week, we wanted to go for a full clear of SOO Flex. One day before... One day... We're going for it next week, guys. Full clear. One day before my second Flex run, our real raiders would always head into non-heroic Siege of Orgrimmar for their real ID. For their real raid. It was the night my phone rang, and on the other end was the non-heroic raid leader. He said that he liked my performance in Flex the week before, and that a ranged DPS had dropped out for the night. Do you want to come along? I quickly said yes. I felt my heart pounding, my hands shaking as I bought pots. Fuck agility pots. Try again. Strength pots. Fuck! As I bought pots and flasks and got on then. No food? What the fuck is this? Oh, okay. So, yeah. We got feast. We got feast. Don't worry about it. It's got food. It's take care of. Somebody else will deal with it. Ghost style. I could go into detail, but the essence of it was that I didn't fuck anything up. And the raid leader announced that he would be happy to welcome me again the next week. And asked if I wanted to become a regular member of their crew. I was so happy. Having finally found my place in a raiding guild, after all, it only took 3 expansions. We were later progressing through the heroic content and I had become a respected member of my guild. But this wasn't enough for me. Never is it? Never is it? For you Timeless Isle folk. I'm joking. Don't get upset. I wanted more. Of course you did. I had always looked at the officer positions with envy. You have officer rank? Ooh. And I wanted to be an officer myself. In order to earn this position, I started to heavily help out with recruiting new members. Did you farm herbs? That's the best way to do it, dude. Ain't nobody getting kicked who farms herbs. That's what... Oh, fish. Fish. Go and get some fish. Instant officer rank. Fucking deal. I started to help out with the recruiting of new members, managing the calendar invites, and even taking over the guild bank. And making sure that there were always enough materials, pots, and flasks available. But all this went somewhat unnoticed. No! Are you telling me people didn't give a shit? In WoW? How can this be? No way did people not give a shit that you were doing all this stuff for them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. For this story to make sense, let me give an introduction to the key members of this guild. There was the Lord of Light, the guild master who didn't really do anything and was our main tank in our raid group. Congratulations, Lord of Light. You are actually like the Lord of Light. You don't do much of anything at all and just leave it to everyone else. There were 2 raid leaders, Theoris and Cortana. Katana had been the raid leader for a long time. Katana was jobless and had no way to pay his bills. in the very, very near future, Cortana, he wouldn't be able to pay for his internet anymore and would have to stop until he sorted his life out. Should have stopped earlier. You don't wait till you crash. You press the brake. Are you listening, guys? Okay? If you know that you're about to smash, stop before you smash. It's better that way. Trust me. It's much better that way. But still, Cortana, heading for that wall. What a guy. That is why he brought Theris along. A very calm guy who is actually the real-life friend of who brought me on board. And we got on really, really well. Really, really well. One day, the inevitable happened, and of course, Cortana could no longer log in. He sent a text to the Lord of Light. I'm going to have to be the Lord of Light. It's the only way it's going to work. He sent a text to the Lord of Light, whom he had known a long time, and said that he needed a month or so before he could be back. Theris would raid lead in the meantime. Are you rethinking your life, Cortana? Good. Good. My time had come, though. With Cortana out of the picture, I started talking to Theris about how we could improve the guild. I have some thoughts, Theris, now you're in charge, about how we can improve this guild. I made the point that the Lord of Light never really did anything, and that he wasn't the right man for the job. Let me interest you in some suggestions for how I would run this guild. Firstly, our GM is a big waste of piss, and therefore we should get rid of him. Theris said that the Lord of Light was very easy to influence, and that he was bound to say yes to anything if we made a valid argument. We got him onto Vent. I told him of my ideas, and he was fond of them. That's not easily influenced, they just sound like they were good ideas. Fair enough. I was shortly after that instated a newly made rank, new rank, which had total control of the guild, but was not guild master. That was your idea. Okay, Mr. GM, Lord of Light, got an idea to throw your way. Badoosh, open mind and all that. We make a new rank, which has all the rights and privileges of GM. Yeah? But you get to keep the GM title. What do you think? Coming at you. And if the GM says yes to that, you're in a really bad guild. Just say, get the fuck out of there. Get out of there. I was pleased. I could shape and mold the guild to my liking and make improvements as I saw fit. I was suddenly important. Aww. Got yourself an officer rank. I was suddenly important. I was asked on. It's so important. I'm so important now. Look at this. I got my own rank. Got my guild control. Can change the bank tabs. Can do anything I want to do. I'm kind of a big moment now. A month passed and suddenly, though, Cortana returned. He had moved back in with his mum and could play again. I have to ask the question, Cortana. Did you move back in with your mum so you could carry on playing WoW? Instead of getting a job? Was that actually what went down here? I really need to know. I really need to know if you were like, if I move back in with my mum, I can keep raiding. And that's kind of a big, important deal. So I need to do that, right? That seems to be the best decision. I could look for a job. That could be something. I could go and get a job. Or I could just move back home with my mum and I could continue to play WoW. And therefore, we're all good. And therefore, the situation is bound to get better. Oh. When he logged on and saw the guild had fundamentally changed around him and that the newbie mage that he'd only recently pulled out of the flex group was now acting GM, he flipped his shit. Turned out that he was not the only one who had realised that the Lord of Light was easily manipulated. Cortana had been doing it for months, always turning things to his favour, you manipulative little swine, Cortana. Once he was back, he started to change things back to the way we were before. With the GM's help, he made a new rank! You know what? We need another rank! It's the only way to solve this. The new rank was above mine, and he restricted my power on my rank heavily. Burn, right? Fucking burn. You got a new rank, all of your own, yeah? And you had all the power again, and they took your power away, Cortana. I would not take this. I was an important person in this guild, and I had used the time that Cortana was gone to get close to the rest of the raid group. I knew I had their full support, and so I made the plan to build in order to remove the Lord of Light and Cortana from power. Another rank. I need a new rank! No, the GM's not a bitch. The GM doesn't give a shit, right? The GM plays Guardian Druid. Okay? Okay? Just saying. That Thrash, though. He's like, will your new rank affect my Thrash? Will it? If I can still thrash with my current rank, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. I'll still be the GM. I talked to my followers about leaving the guild after clearing out the bank I was in charge of and owning our own guild. We'll make a new guild. They were all on board. Just my friend and raid leader, Theorist, told me not to do anything until things escalated. Bristle the fur! I'm bristling the fur! Lies! I got my thrash and bristling. It's all good. Everybody was on board! Because I liked him, I didn't want to go against his will, so I made it look like the Lord of Light and Cortana had escalated the situation, and not me. It was them, not me. I had provoked them in whispers, hinting that all the members would leave with all the contents of the bank. You told them what you were going to do? Hinting that all the members would leave with all the contents of the bank if things didn't go how they were before Cortana returned. And he flipped again. You told them. You told them you're going to rob the bank. If you don't change your ways, we're going to rob your bank. Okay. What happened next, though, is the Lord of Light restricted the whole guild's access to the bank, so we just couldn't leave. Oh, no way. The guild bank was packed with materials of all sorts, flasks and pots that we had all farmed for months. The Lord of Light, Cortana, contributed the least, and I made the point to my followers, and they all raged against those two on vent in their absence. The access to the bank was in that way restricted that every raider could only take one stack out of each bank tab. I'm gonna rob your bank. I'm gonna rob your bank. What they've forgotten is that they hadn't removed my right to promote people to the raider rank, so I made a plan. I had all my followers make new alts. I instantly made them up to raiders, and we started emptying the bank. It continued for about 5 minutes until people got wind of what was going on. I remember us giggling on vent and feeling like proper bad boys. We're such bad boys. We're so bad boys. Oh god, you fucking badasses. Such badasses. We could try to realise what was going on. I was promptly kicked with everyone that had participated. We didn't care. We wanted to make our own guild anyway, and had prepared everyone so well that even the guys that weren't kicked joined our new guild with me as their guild master. We raided the next day and killed a new boss in heroics, so we overtook our old guild on WoW Progress instantly. Are you telling me your GM couldn't even thrash? You didn't know how to thrash? Dude. Up to this day, Cortana and the Lord of Light remain in the old guild with a cleared guild bank and a few socials that remain with them. As far as I know, they stopped raiding altogether. I remain guild master. Since we kept the core group of our raid, we have raided successfully ever since. Good on you! Eventually. I hope you enjoyed my story. I don't come off as too manipulative. Nope. Oh, actually, I think that was pretty good. That was alright. A few little schoolboy errors going along in there, but I like that you nearly cleared Nax and stuff, which is pretty good. If you even trash. Right, I need lots of people for this. We're going into Star Trek Online. We're going into Star Trek Online. And we're going in. We're going in with some ERP. Alright. We need a Fleet Admiral. Tactical Officer. Science Officer, who is a lady Sci Officer. We need an Engineer, of course. We need a Vulcan, probably wearing some tight outfit. We need a Slut, as always. And we need another Lady Science Officer. Lots of ladies doing the ERP on the Star Treks. Is it the uniform, girls? You fucking digging that uniform big time? Bam. Who's Fleet Admiral? Oh, I'd like to have the Walkabout, but we'll go with someone else. Muvok. Muvok, you're going to be... Oh, sorry, Muvok, but you're totally the Vulcan. Muvok, you're absolutely the Vulcan. Niches can be the Fleet Admiral. Who's going to be the Tactical Officer? Felil. Felil could be the Tactical Officer. Called in sick, poor lad. Who's got a lady name? I'm going to go with... We got it. Ciara. Ciara will do. It's a little kind of ladyish name. I need a bloke. I need a man. We'll have Grismal. I was going to go with Grizz, though. It's definitely you, though. And we need the slut. Sangria. Will do nicely. Sangria shall be the slut. And we need our lady science officer. Who's another lady. So many ladies. A lot of pink today. Where's all these pink names with no actual lady name attached to them? Terraby? Terraby will do. It's not really ladyish, but it will do. Right, we have our cast set up for the story is named The Rise and Fall of the 110th Fleet. The 110th Fleet was doing well. The 110th Fleet is not doing well now, apparently, as it fell out of justice. Let's see happy. Let's see happy. Hello to you, Preacher, and Brofist as well. I'm a huge fan of your Drama Fridays. We're going to go fast because it's Star Trek Online. A lot of you won't get it. I remember that you were mentioning likey stories that involve games outside of the usual WoW routine. While this one may be quite cool, it is in fact based in Star Trek Online. It's an interesting story. A douchebag GM, vent chats, rise and falls of the social rankings, and of course the magic of ERP. Without further delay, let's take that journey to the last frontier. Engage! I love it! Engage! We're fucking engaging. Nice. I was around 15 when I started getting to the MMO scene. I had tried WoW using the 30-day free subscription, but I just couldn't get into the game for some reason. More than likely from my own inexperience. I shrugged off WoW and have yet to return, but could not resist the siren song of the MMO. One day, while browsing a local gaming store, you bought a boxed copy of a game for a PC? Dude. Wow. Star Trek Online has boxed copies? No fucking way. Oh, collector's edition. Woo! Thank God, that was crazy. I came across the collector's edition of Star Trek Online. That must be so nerdy. I love it. I'm a massive Trekkie, by the way. Being a huge Trek fan, I thought it'd be worth a shot to try it out. Downloaded the game, activated, and did what any 15-year-old would do. Made an alien plant monster. With my trusty Miranda-class frigate ready, I set off to defend the Federation like a true officer. What a guy. The game had me hooked, and I quickly found myself at level 30 of a 55 level cap game. However, the reaches of space had become lonely, and I couldn't find anyone IRL that wanted to play. Do you want to play Star Trek Online? It's the response I got from my fucking friends when I said, do you want to play Star Trek Online? I was hyped. I was there. I played Star Trek Online for about a day, but still, I tried it. I think we even streamed it. I think I went back and I streamed it that day, maybe. I know we did the Lord of the Rings shit. Ooh, them doors, though. How do they work? But no one IRL wanted to play Star Trek Online with me. I thought for sure that I'd be flying solo to level cap and endgame content beyond, but was proven quite wrong. During a trip back to Earth's space dock, which was the major city, I noticed an ad in Zone Chat advertising for the 110th Fleet. They claim to be a small fleet, but a good mix of PvP, PvE, endgame, RP, and other things. Cesspool! It's the Cesspool Star Trek Guild. What aspects of your guild do you have? What do you focus on? We focus on absolutely everything in the game. Equally. Welcome. Intrigued, I whispered the advertiser, a man named Felil. I told Felil about my inexperience with MMOs and how the ad for a smaller, friendly, casual guild interested me. And just like that, I was in. I quickly got familiar with a few of the members in Fleet Chat, including the Fleet's Admiral, Niches. Fleet Admiral. Such a cool rank though, right? It's such a cool... Those fucking doors. Niches, charitably, could be called a narcissist. Oh, it's not looking good for you, buddy. It's really not. If you were being kind, you're just a narcissist. He was an actual RL, Royal Navy submariner. Oh, you take the military shit really seriously. Is that what you're going to say? Oh, dude. Rank and order, rank and file. I get it. He was a Royal Navy submariner who was rarely online and thus left the fleet in the care of Felil, his trusted right-hand man. When Niches was on, however, he liked to laud his position as Fleet Admiral over others. I am Fleet Admiral. Come with me. Come with me. generally talking down to the other members as if they were his underlings. I grin and bore this, however, resting easy on the fact that Fell-Il was a far more capable fleet manager. The days when niches were on were hell, but a hell worth suffering for the fun that was to be had when he was gone. The ad had not been a lie, and the fleet was really small. That's the truth of it. The ad wasn't lying. There's nobody in this guild. We are a small, casual, friendly guild looking to do endgame. We have bank access. We do PvP. We do PvE. We do 5-mans. We do RP. We do it all. We do it all. Okay? And the only truth of that matter is that we are really small. Really small. Ah, are you mad? Okay, then we'll pick Colin instead. Sorry. Nishes is now Colin. Colin the Fleet Admiral. The ad had been a lie, and the guild was really, really small, with only about 20 or so people, not counting alts. I, unlike most members, was fairly active and talkative, and quickly became a part of the inner circle, so to say. One day I was even asked to join Ventrilo and talk with the other fleet members. I was absolutely terrified of this, as I was only 15 or 16 at the time, and worried my high-pitched voice would ruin the friendships I was developing. Lying, I said that I was a mute. And therefore, would not be using the microphone. I'm a mute. Sorry to tell you this, but there's 20 of us and one of us is a mute. Okay, but at least we're covering all the bases. We're fine. We're fine. The lie worked, and I was in. No. The lie didn't work. People just knew. People just knew. People just knew. The other active members of the fleet included Terraby, a lady college student in California, and truly kind woman. A kind-hearted soul is Terraby. What a beautiful lady. I recently hit 50 and was having trouble with some of the later Borg-related missions. They're Borgs. So tough, man. Due to not having much luck with knowing how to gear and spec myself and my ship, Terraby took me under her wing and taught me how to play as a healing science officer. And this was how the first year or so went, with me, Fell-Il, and Terraby, and a few other minor members of the fleet going about the game in a casual, more social aspect. And this is when I was introduced to RP. It took 12 months to get there, but we got there. Thanks to Terraby. Chapter 2. My introduction to the roleplay. I had always been interested in RP, but not sure I could do it myself. I hadn't ever heard about ERP, and thus it hadn't tainted my image of the RP community. With the 110th, however, I was introduced and taught how to RP once again by Terraby and another fleet member named Ciara. The ladies are teaching the RP. The ladies are teaching the RP. Both of these girls were old school Dungeons and Dragons fans and taught me how to roleplay my character based on their vast experiences with pen and paper. Boom! Bombshell, motherfucker! Is there anybody better to learn your RP from than pen and paper RP? Writing it down? Keeping a record? Right? You're used to in-game mails. These ladies, and I say ladies, have pen and papered it like a boss. Okay? Don't you take them and fucking teach them about fucking virtual RP. They've done it RL on paper. Okay? RP with the fleet was always fun, and the events I look forward to most. It was fun to play as the chief medical officer. Did you have to play doctor for the girls in RP? Dude, nice! Fucking scored a McCoy! Scored a McCoy for the ladies. Did the ladies tell you to do that? And you can be our science officer. You could be our medical officer. You could be our medical officer and we're wounded. I don't know if that's what went down, but that's all I'm reading if you got to RP as the chief medical officer. You know what I mean? Saving wounded officers from injuries during our fights against the Klingon Empire. Fell-Il was, in RP terms, the de facto fleet admiral, considering that Colin distastes of RP and his irregular schedule. Breast exams, bitches. They're in charge. They're in charge. Despite the fun, the fleet was dwindling. No. Terraby was on less often as studies became more of a pressing matter, leaving the fleet without a senior member. Fell-Il, noticing not only this, but the stagnation in activity amongst other members, decided to go against Colin's wishes and to expand the fleet with more intensive recruitment. All of us remaining agreed and volunteered to advertise the fleet around major game hubs or to the fleetless friends. We had a ban on recruitment? What a dick. Within a few weeks, though, it was paying off. We had a ton of activity. Friendly members among the usual guild chaff. Of these members, 3 were the most prominent. We had introduced Sangria, Grizz, and Muvok. All 3 of them were likewise part of the RP rotation. RP rotation? Does that mean you don't get in? If you sign up one night, you don't get to play? Sorry, RP's full? Is that what that means? RP rotation, what does that mean? I need to know these things. Adding to the fun, the fleet was in a golden age unlike it had ever seen. And we had dubbed the recruiting frenzy. And what we had dubbed the recruiting frenzy had paid off in spades. Gear, cash, and members were flowing in. And our PvP division were hitting major strides and being recognised as a force to be reckoned with. Like all good things, however, it was not to last. Colin returned. Furious at how his orders had been ignored at first, but quickly talked down by Felil. He pointed out how the fleet was performing better than it ever had, and how they'd accomplished more in the last few months than the fleet had in the past year. Colin wasn't entirely happy, however, and took back his position in force. You see, Colin had finished his tour of duty. He's no longer a submariner, and therefore could take control of the fleet full time. Felil was allowed to remain as Vice Admiral, however, with a huge change to the fleet hierarchy. Instead of 1 Vice Admiral, the fleet would have 5 Vice Admirals. 5 Vice Admirals. Each one serving as a department head and reporting back to the almighty imperious leader, Colin. We need department heads and management meetings and all this kind of stuff. The 5 departments were PvP, RP, recruiting, PvE, and endgame. Felil was allowed first pick and was chose to be the RP Vice Admiral. That's a fucking rank, isn't it? That's a fucking rank, is it not? RP Vice Admiral. Where are you, Don Giotto? Where are you, Don? Are you jelly that you're never going to be an RP Vice Admiral? Vice Admiral of RP. What a fucking baller. Absolute baller. What a guy. Ciara became the PvE leader. Terraby was enlisted whenever she was on. Took the role of endgame leader. Not that much focus on endgame then, right? Not that much focus on endgame if it's the guy. If it's the girl who's barely ever on, the player who's never online gets to be in charge of endgame. I was not allowed into this upper echelon despite my friendships and higher place within the fleet social rankings because I had refused to take part in PvP. My defiance against Colin was repaid with a demotion, of course. By now I'd entered my 2nd year's tenure with the 110th. I was having just about as much fun as I had been before, especially now that the RP ranks had swelled with some new blood from the recruitment frenzy. There were, however, signs of things getting out of hand. Felil was having issues in his personal life, going through a pretty bad breakup that was hitting him hard. Whenever he was down, however, Sangria would be there to cheer him up. For the most part, I was happy to see Felil and Sangria acting so friendly. But part of me wondered if there wasn't a motive behind it. Turned out there was. RP within the fleet began to take very strange plot turns and involve very non-canon things such as Sangria's species being former slaves to an ancient warrior race that once ruled the entire universe and were naturally very submissive. So everybody knows I've altered my RP bio to a submissive bunch of ladies who were once ruled by men and of course love it dearly. And that's my RP bio. I'm looking for a strong man. Okay. Just putting it out there that's a little update. You can all read about it. Before I forget, the robust alien creator in Star Trek Online, the character creation screen, apparently led Sangria to create what can only be described as a blonde, pink-skinned mud frog with a nose as flat as a Kansas highway. I need to point this out because what will no doubt be painfully obvious considering the past paragraph of build-up, it turns out that Felil and Sangria were in an in-character relationship. Beyond just the obvious sexy time, they had already had plans to be married in character. Conniving happy. Convincing though, no? We're convincing the people this is what we want to happen. This is how it will go down. And we're already planning the wedding, I'll have you know, with my mud frog character. We're getting there. I had been RPing for about a year now, so I was now well aware of what ERP was. I was more than a little weirded out by this marriage situation and decided to put some distance between myself and those two for a while. But it didn't get better. In fact, several times they failed to channel check, and we were all forced to witness the horrifying mistells. I failed to scare a screenshot of these, but they involved alien womanhoods being penetrated by ebony poles. Alien womanhood and an ebony pole. That sounds like a video that I could create and sell. I think people would buy that. Alien womanhood and the ebony pole. That sounds like a good story. That sounds like it's the basis for a real porno. And I feel like we should be down with that. Could I put that as the title of the video when I upload it? One must ask if the alien womanhood and the ebony pole will in fact see the light of day. I don't know, man. Chapter 4, and it all goes downhill. Apparently, after the wedding, Sangria's character was now pregnant, but as she was an alien, she had laid an egg. There's a point in life where, you know, you're so comfortable with what's going on that you're free to tell the rest of your guildmates that you've laid an egg and that it's festering on our ship somewhere. I need an adult. I need an adult. Yeah, apparently, Sangria's character was now pregnant and she had laid an egg. It turns out that the Mudfrog comic was probably more apt than it deserved to be. So here we are with a fleet of Federation exploration and military ships fighting wars all over the galaxy, and our RP stories now involve the storage of an alien egg. And then they pretended to be parents. Half-breed alien eggs sitting around with parents talking like they fell out of a Star Wars prequel. To make matters worse, Colin was getting bored with the thinning stream of recruits into the fleet. He wanted more. Wanted the glory. Days of the fleet to last forever. To do this, he made a recruitment a mandatory aspect of the fleet. One must recruit a certain numbers of players to raise the ranks. This wasn't the only thing that Colin started doing either. Perhaps pining for his day in the Royal Navy, he began running the fleet militaristically, rigidly enforcing the in-game fleet rank structure to this effect. Perhaps the worst part of these changes was the fleet meetings. Before fleet meetings has usually been informal ventrilo meetings where those that attended could weigh in on the current state of affairs. Under Colin's new regime, however, they were not only mandatory, but required attendance for all fleet members. And all members must attend wearing their official fleet uniform. You're not in uniform, son! Get out! What do you think this is? Some fucking informal casual affair? Noob! This guild takes its fleet meetings seriously. You are in the proper dress. Get out! Get out! Go, I want to see the uniform on you, son. After forcing our characters to all stand in line and stand to attention with an emote, we would then be forced to stay there for up to an hour and a half at a time listening to him blathering on about things. One time, he talked for 2 hours solid. Where's your uniforms? Where's the uniforms, team? Needless to say, the fleet was not doing well. Our peers didn't want to participate in this story. Oh, it was a story. Guys, as GM, I've come up with a new storyline for our RP guild, and it's going to involve fleet meetings where you appear in uniform, stand in line, salute me, and listen to me speak. It's a good story, and I think you're going to like it. Felil was beginning to what is referred to as God mod during events, where all of Felil's characters were essentially in God mode. I too gave up on the RP when the baby egg was abducted by another race in order to... I haven't given this the pomp it deserves for this sentence, so I will restart. I too gave up on the fleet roleplay when the illustrious baby egg was abducted by another race in order to usher in the end of the world or some shit. It's the chosen baby egg! It's the chosen one! It's the chosen baby egg! It's the prize! It's the prize of the universe, and it's been... Someone stole the baby egg! Someone stole the baby egg. No. Because it's the chosen one. And it's going to usher in a new era. The fleet had lost its glory days, drowning in a metric ton of members that couldn't be taken care of, a crazy vice admiral, and an egotistical leader. Sadly, this is when Terrorby left the fleet, not wanting to put up with it any longer. Despite only being in the fleet bordering on 2 years now, I was one of the dwindling old guard. Around this time, Colin had agreed to allow me to keep track of the fleet bank since he couldn't be bothered, and with making sure that it stayed organised and not overflowing with garbage items. I liked this job. It was easy enough to do, but felt like I was helping the fleet and I had been back during the old days. One day while organising a tab of the bank set aside for newbie characters, I noticed that the bank had lost 75 million credits. No one had a withdrawal limit that high, not even all the Vice Admirals put together. None, that is, except for Colin. I questioned this. Colin had taken out all the energy credits to buy items for himself. I was not happy in the least. When I confronted him about this, he told me that it was his right. It is my right as the fleet's leader, and that if I don't like it, he'd just kick me. And I let it slide. That's it. Oh, you don't like it? I'll just kick you. And I let it go. I let it go. End game. The final score. The fleet was falling apart more and more. Ciara and I had become closer because of it, talking and reminiscing of the old days. One day, Ciara brought a friend from Lord of the Rings Online to STO. A female Vulcan named Muvok. Oh, it's another character? We'll go with Muvok, not better than a lot. Or as we called her, Moo. It was a guy in real life. Oh, and was very much like Ghost. Oh, shit. A female Vulcan named Muvok, or as we call her Moo, who was a guy in real life and was very much like Ghost. He had been informed through Ciara about the spiral the fleet was in and claimed he was there to help. Oh, great, your fleet is in decline. And suddenly a guy arrives, a sage, a saviour, to help and to guide you through these difficult times. Okay? Like a fucking hero. On the cusp, you see the shadow approaching over the dunes in the distance. Moo has arrived to help. Get helped. Moo couldn't have joined at a more perfect time to feed my growing distaste for the fleet. Felil's personal life continued to disintegrate. Oh, I feel bad for him. He lost his girlfriend, then he got an in-game girlfriend. They had an egg baby, and it got stolen. And one day out of the blue, Felil was gone. We never saw him again. This left Colin with a quandary. He needed a new RP Vice Admiral, but his disgust of Sangria's mudfrog egginess kept him from promoting her. Oh, she asked for it though. Not after that whole egg thing. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, he said one day in a tell. You RP, right? Yeah, I replied. Want to be the RP Vice Admiral? I accepted, believing I could turn at least one part of the fleet around and maybe work with the other Vice Admirals to completely get things back on track. I was promoted to that illustrious rank. No pomp or circumstance, no grand promotion ceremony, which surprised me. Really? You had a grand promotion ceremony? Awesome. It did, however, come with a lot of bullshit rules. Colin didn't blame Felil's lack of sanity, or Sangria feeding him with kinky RP for what the RP events fell apart, nor the influx of so many RPers that we couldn't keep track, and events devolved into overdramatic massacres as people desperately tried to notice the centres of attention. And just massacre everybody. That's the plan. He blamed it on the lack of a proper chat channel. Haha! Sturdiness! Why are people not raiding? Why are they only doing LFR? Why is Flexi not doing what it's supposed to do? I've got it! Sturdiness! Why is the RP fall apart? Why are they only RPing massacres? Haha! A chat channel. That's what's going to fix it. So no, everybody's RP had to be done in a specially made custom channel that all the fleet members had access to and could see. This had the inverse effect of allowing for easy trolling, people complaining about it, clogging up their own chat screens, and 1,000 other problems. It was Saturday night. It was Saturday. The day we had our weekly RP events. People were coming online, waiting for the place to meet up to be revealed. It was at the Earth Space Dock, where it all began roughly 3 years ago. 7 o'clock Central Time was fast approaching, and the time for the event to start. Karina was there with me, and they had an event scheduled for 7. A mass fleet leveling for those that needed help. We all waited in vent. Moo, Ciara, letting the others unaware of our plans go about their day. When at last Colin jumped on. Late for him as usual. We let him get his greetings out of the way. Then without warning, Moo had left the fleet. When Colin began to question this, 7 o'clock. D-Day officially hit. Ciara disappeared too. Colin began to panic, as he just lost one of the last of the founding members of the fleet. While this was going on, I had changed the permissions to the fleet back, allowing myself and Moo unfettered access. I emptied the bank of all my inventory could, and as every last penny with one last message in the fleet chat, I said 3 simple words. Sic Semper Tyrannis. As always with the tyrants, just as he began to go atomic in vent, I too left the fleet, left vent, and never looked back. Boom! Baby ERPX, RP quitting the guild. What more do you need? 2 guild banks ghosted in one sweet, sweet evening. And that brings us to the end of today's Dramatic Friday. If you want to submit a story to Drama Friday, because we all encounter these crazy, crazy people in our World of Warcraft days, simply send me an email to drama@preachgaming.com. I will have a read of it, we'll discuss it, and we'll have some fun. That is generally the way these things go. I have a show tomorrow with a transmog competition. You can submit your transmogs last minute on my website, preachgaming.com. On the forums, you'll find it. It'll no doubt to be the most active thread going on in the universe. We'll do something cool. So tune in if you want to review transmogs and disagree with our opinion. That would be fucking awesome. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. That is in approximately 26 hours from now. We will be here doing a show. I'll be joined by my lovely esteemed colleague, who will be very fair and just to people's blue DKs. And that will all be going on. Other than that, I'll be streaming 3 days at least next week, perhaps more. I will let you know. So join us on Twitter for that, or just follow usual stuff. Other than that, have a great weekend, guys. If you're not going to join in because you're doing stuff, I hope it's good, because it's sunny as balls. It's hot everywhere, I think, besides probably the really, really cold places. Do something amazing with your weekend, guys. Be good, and I'll see you next time. Bye.